Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We begin with breaking news. Man accused of shooting woman in back, killing her. Justin Murrah faces second-degree murder charge. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Burst out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Few details being released into this scene in this area of Granite Street as authorities continue to investigate, but they now say Tanya Hall is the victim. The area between Canal and Elm was shut down while crews investigated during the early morning hours. Manchester police responded, finding Hall deceased with an apparent gunshot wound. An autopsy will be performed tomorrow to determine Hall's cause and manner of death.
We believe it to be an apparent gunshot injury, but we won't know for sure until an autopsy is completed.
Authorities have not released exactly where Hall was found, but say tonight they want to speak with anyone who was in Manch Vegas Bar and Grill or near Old Granite, and Elm Streets last night or early this morning who may have information. The Attorney General's office says Manchester police are investigating several places for evidence.
And there are various locations that we're interested in and incidents that we're interested in.
The AG's office says at this time there is no evidence to suggest any threat to the general public.
With any case in which a homicide or a violent crime occurs, obviously the public should exercise prudence, but there's nothing that indicates any threat to the public at large in this particular case.
Now, the AG's office says no suspects have been arrested at this point in time, but anyone with information should call Manchester police.
Okay, and there you go on that video from last night. Now we have new information that came into the newsroom. And here is the new information. A man is facing second-degree murder charge in connection with the death of a woman in Manchester, authorities said. And here is a photo of that man. His name is Justin Murrah, 34 years old. Justin Murrah, 34, is accused of shooting Tanya Hall, 34, with a handgun. An autopsy revealed Hall died of a gunshot wound to the back, and her death was a result of a homicide, authorities said. Investigators didn't say exactly where the shooting happened or where the victim was found, but a section of Granite Street between Canal and Elm Streets was shut down Sunday morning as police investigated. A parking lot in front of two city nightclubs was roped off, and the Manchester Police Critical Response Unit was on scene through late Sunday morning. Authorities had asked for additional information for anyone who was in the Manch Vegas Bar and Grill or in the areas of Old Granite, and Elm Streets in Manchester on Saturday night or early Sunday morning. Murrah is scheduled to be arraigned Tuesday at Hillsborough Superior Court in Manchester. We will keep you updated on this story. The snow moved out by midday and the sun came out, and what should we expect for the rest of the week? With more on that, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scripa with a full weather forecast.
Most organized of the snowfall from last night's system and early this morning continues to move away into Maine. Left behind now, a little bit of a changeable sky for the afternoon. Continued occasional snow showers for the North Country. We may see a passing snow shower, little or no accumulation in central and southern areas of the state. But we're going to whittle in a few breaks of sunshine, and that's all it takes this time of year. With a higher sun angle and a little bit of a breeze out there this afternoon out of the northwest to push temperatures up into the 30s this afternoon, and we're talking several hours above the freezing mark in central and southern areas of the state. Again, you'll notice at just about any point through this evening, there is that chance of a passing snow shower here or there. Overnight, after a northwesterly breeze at 10 to 20 miles an hour, temperatures drop back between 0 and 16 overnight. That's where we'll start our Tuesday, and what will be a colder rest of the week for us. High temperatures tomorrow, mainly in the 20s. Notice a few snow showers up north during the afternoon. I think that chance of snow showers for the White Mountains and the Great North Woods is going to likely continue off and on all the way through the daylight hours Wednesday, while in southern areas of the state, certainly colder temperatures, along with a blend of sunshine and clouds. Fair skies look to continue all the way into Thursday and Friday. Eventually, by Friday, we're going to start to moderate temperatures some. After dropping temperatures below the freezing mark tonight and not getting all the way back there until sometime Friday afternoon in southern areas, we'll likely do it over the weekend with temperatures in the 30s. So keep an eye out for some scattered snow showers this afternoon. A lot of that will be focused in the North Country, but one or two are possible later this afternoon, even in southern areas of the state. 7-day forecast shows the moderating trend into early next week. Does look like our next system would be Sunday as rain or mixed showers. You can see all the latest snow totals on our website.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Skrupa. And there are currently 200 closings and delays for this evening. If you want to see that complete list, just go to WMUR.com. Now let's get to some more news. State police pull over trucks from highway to ensure compliance with Jessica law. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
This was the scene today at the Wyndham Way station. Truck inspections after a morning snowstorm focusing on Jessica's Law, the law that requires all vehicles to remove all ice and snow.
Trucks are definitely a more unique situation because they're not as easy to clean. So oftentimes drivers don't always have the tools readily available to them. So we do try and make sure that those vehicles get stopped, that the snow does get removed in a safe fashion.
Police say on a slow day after a relatively minor storm like this one, they'll inspect anywhere between 20 to 40 trucks. Today they did 19. Authorities say only about 4 or 5 had to clear snow from their trailers, and most needed to call someone to do that job. Bachman's Towing gets a little extra work on a day like this.
Every time there's a snowstorm, we get calls to clean them off, and just so no one gets hit by snow driving down the highway, because that causes more accidents.
State police say in February they issued 56 summonses and 212 warnings for Jessica's Law. And so far this winter season, they have issued 984 citations total. Fines can range from $250 to $500 for a first offense, but that's not the mission of stops like this. Here they are simply trying to make vehicles safe and raise awareness about the law.
It's definitely a good idea because you don't want the snow hitting you in the face. I hate when people don't because then it's just like you can't see. It's so dangerous, so it's a good idea.
It just makes common sense. The fact that we have to stop people and fine them for not doing the obvious, that's kind of their problem.
State police say that the bottom line is simply take the time and clean your vehicle. It could save a life. Reporting live, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And you heard it right there. Take the time and clean your vehicle and you could save a life. Simple as that. New Hampshire troopers have stopped nearly 1,000 snow-covered vehicles this winter. "268 vehicles stopped for Jessica law violations in February," police say. New Hampshire State Police troopers have stopped hundreds of snow-covered vehicles this season while enforcing Jessica's law, police said. Police said the number of stops has nearly tripled since the 2016-2017 season, when there were 372 vehicles stopped. Data is not available for last winter. In February alone, 268 vehicles were stopped, with 56 summons and 212 warning issues. Police said most citations were issued in Rockingham County. Since 2002, New Hampshire drivers have been legally required to clear snow and ice off their cars before getting on the road. Jessica's law was passed after Jessica Smith was killed when ice from a tractor-trailer hit a box truck that ended up hitting her car. Drivers who violate the law face fines of $250 to $500 for the first offense, and $500 to $1,000 for multiple offenses. Citation data for March and specifically for Monday's snowstorm are not yet available, though WMUR saw multiple truck drivers pulled over on Interstate 93 in Windham, apparently because their trailers were snow-covered. Take a look at this photo from New Hampshire State Police. As you see, the driver is cleaning off his vehicle, and he's up on top of that truck. Good thing to do. Make sure everyone cleans off their vehicle. Cleanup underway after storm dumps snow across Granite State. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Sean, as you take a live look at 93 northbound here in Windham, you can see the conditions are vastly improved. And while the signs warn of DOT trucks out doing the cleanup, well, homeowners are doing the same. The snow reduced the speed limit on the state's major highways to 45 miles per hour. While the DOT was busy clearing roads, Gary Dawson was getting his exercise in, shoveling his driveway.
Instead of going to the gym this morning, I'll do a workout here. So I find this both healthy, and once I don't overdo it, I just enjoy it most of the time.
Turk was also enjoying the weather and bringing back memories for Michelle Fastnacht.
I remember the same days when I was young and had a snow day, and all you wanted to do was go around and run around outside in the snow.
For her husband, though, it was a little bit more work, as his older snowblower struggled to keep up.
It's a little harder than usual. I like last week's snow better.
While that was a light, fluffy snow, this was the opposite. About 6 inches of heavy, wet snow fell in the Salem area. Nate Meisner has some tips for dealing with it.
The best way you do it is get out early and get after it early so it doesn't pile up on you, and just take it slow.
This segment has absolutely nothing to do with storm coverage, except to remind you that warmer days are ahead. After all, this weekend we do spring forward. Bill Keefe just got back from Florida. While he's not happy about having to get his snowblower out again, he's also willing to do more than his fair share.
Just helping out the neighbor over here. He's a fireman, so we usually do his driveway for him.
Let's take a live look at the highway once again. While this warm-up should help melt the snow, bear in mind that it's going to get cold again tonight. That could lead to some refreezing. That means we could be dealing with some black ice for tomorrow morning's commute. Reporting live in Wyndham, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer. And now let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
Sean, people have been out all morning long clearing off their cars and clearing out their driveways, and this snow is making things take a little bit longer today because of how wet and heavy it is, which also affected some power and cable lines. Hampton plows and private contractors made their way out early to start clearing snow.
We went out at 4 and we were already pretty behind the gun at that point. Came on pretty fast. You know, a little faster than what we expected.
There is a lot of snow to get rid of, and this man headed out to clean it up in shorts.
I didn't expect it to snow 6 feet overnight. It was fine yesterday. This was supposed to be a quick run in, move the car, until I seen outside that it's obviously a lot more snow than I thought. And now that I've been out here shoveling for 20 minutes, I'm warm.
For some, cleanup included the roof.
It's not complicated, that's for sure. Just back and forth, pulls it right off.
This homeowner says he's had problems with heavy snow in the past.
Towards the edges, the ice starts to build up, and my house is 160 years old. We had a problem a couple years ago, so I'm religious about cleaning it off after every storm now.
This time, the snow even clinging to some power and cable lines, like outside this home on Park Avenue.
It's pulling down the line. It looks very low and very heavy. Fortunately, as of right now, I still have cable. I still have electricity. I'm counting the days. Yes, March 20th is the first day of spring, so yes, it's right around the corner. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to spring this year. Now, the good news is the sun has come out and it's warmed things up a bit, so the snow is starting to fall off the trees and the power lines, so no issues there. We're live in Hampton. Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report from Kristen Carosa. Numerous spinouts crashes reported across New Hampshire on snowy morning. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
While you were sleeping, heavy snow blanketed much of southern and southeastern New Hampshire today. This was the scene on 95 near Greenland this morning. You can see the roads are snow-covered, and there have been multiple accidents and spin-outs, including accidents like this one right here on the Spalding Turnpike this morning. This jackknife propane truck blocked 2 lanes near exit 13 in Rochester. So take it slow if you need to be outside.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we can say to all of you, the traffic is much better than this morning. So that is good news there. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Monday evening. And here's a look at your U.S. stock market for this Monday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the red and went down. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed flat. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Dow slides 206 points. S&P 500 closes back below key 2,800 level. stocks staged a marked turnaround to the downside Monday as the S&P 500 sank back below a key chart level, and investors believed a likely trade resolution between the U.S. and China is baked in. And we have some breaking news. Winner claims 1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot. This is the largest jackpot payout in a single winner in U.S. history. A sole winner of the 1.5 billion Mega Millions jackpot from October 2018 has come forward and submitted a claim for the prize, lottery officials announced. The winner from South Carolina has elected to remain anonymous and chose the cash option of a one-time payout of $877,784,124. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.